Hi everybody, this is a video about my favorite herbal brands and whether herbs are more effective in a tincture form or a capsule form. Just before I jump into the video, if you wouldn't mind taking a quick second to like or share or subscribe or post a quick comment on the video, I'd really appreciate it. So thanks in advance for taking a second to do that. So somebody asked this question on one of my other videos, basically what are my favorite herbal brands and tinctures versus capsules, what's more effective. So as per usual, nothing I'm saying should be construed as medical advice. This is for informational purposes only. If you need medical advice, please talk to your healthcare provider to get that advice. So as far as brands go, I'm really lucky. We have a wonderful clinic here, I have wonderful staff, and they actually make herbal tinctures for me in office. So we have a tincture press, we order in the dried herbs and make our own tinctures in-house, which is really great because by cutting out the middle person, we're able to offer the tinctures at a markedly lower price than what we used to be able to offer them at when we were buying them from another reseller. So very, very thankful for the wonderful tincture manufacturers that are out there, and so happy to have those available for purchase. But at the end of the day, we just use so many tinctures. We have so many patients taking tinctures when they're dealing with chronic infections and SIBO and various other conditions, detoxification support herbs, etc., calming herbs, adrenal support herbs, all the different herbs we use. And oftentimes our patients are on a lot of different products because we treat a lot of patients with complex chronic illnesses. So just trying to make things as cost effective for patients as possible is something we strive to do. So it's one of the ways that we've been able to help with that to some extent. So long and short of it is that we make our own tinctures in-house. However, some of the other great companies that are out there, and I can really only speak to Canadian companies because I really don't know a heck of a lot about other American companies. I look at them from time to time because patients that I consult on their cases when they, patients in other countries like the US and various parts of Europe and whatnot. I have looked at other companies. I just can't really vouch for non-Canadian companies to any great extent because I don't have much experience. But I'm here in beautiful Canada, at least. Some really great companies are St. Francis Herb Farm, which is based out of Ontario. There's also another company called Herbie's Herbs, which is just a very funny name, and I think it's wonderful. Also based out of Ontario and in Toronto. We used to get the vast majority of our herbs from them. They have an amazing, amazing selection. I buy them on their website or whatnot. There's another company called Perfect Herbs, which is also a very clever title. One of the co-founders is one of my former classmates from naturopathic college once upon a time. So they're a great company, have a lot of different herbs. There's another one called Veritatis, I believe it's called, also based out of Ontario. And apparently that's the place to be to make herbs and tinctures and whatnot. So there are some really great companies. I like all of them, but we brew vast majority of our tinctures in-house. So based on the fact that I've exclusively talked about tinctures up to this point, you may be gathering that my preference is for tinctures over capsules, and that is definitely the case for certain categories of herbs. So when we're going after systemic microbes, to my understanding, based on my understanding of the pharmacokinetics of the various herbal compounds and knowing what I know about the ability of a tincture to actually draw, bearing in mind, for those that don't know, a tincture is an alcohol-based extract of an herb. So my understanding is that the alcohol is able to draw out some of the pharmacological constituents of the herbs that are then better able to get into the bloodstream and go here, there, and everywhere to kill infection throughout the body. So in my experience, tinctures tend to work better than, say, encapsulated or powdered herbs. So, person's taking cryptolepis capsules. A cryptolepis tincture is generally going to pack more of a punch, generally work better than those powders because, again, the tincturing process extracts a number of those important bioactive compounds, and I believe that they're better absorbed systemically. Now, if I'm treating things in the intestinal tract, that's where things differ. If I'm treating the small intestine, I find tinctures work well, but treating the large intestine, I found that tinctures don't work as well as encapsulated herbs or powdered herbs because we want the herbs to stay lingering in the gut. We want it to basically turn into this nice, disgusting herbal sludge that's going to marinate those microbes and kill things off in its path. I don't want those herbal extracts to be absorbed into the bloodstream. So if I was going to take, for example, the herb wormwood in a tincture, that could be helpful against Lyme and Babesia and other co-infections and whatnot. But if I want to use wormwood to kill microbes in the gut, whether it's parasites or yeast or LIBO or SIBO or what have you, I'd much prefer it in a powder form because I don't want it to get absorbed. I want it to, again, create that herbal sludge and marinate things in the gut, the intestinal tract. So I hope that answered your question. Thank you for the question. If anybody has any questions about this topic or anything else, just post in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer as soon as I can.